company is Black Series Edition LLC. Reason why I got that in my caption because I noticed something. It was brought up in a couple of forum sites we were sitting at, and somebody said, you know, every time you come out with something different, something new, these haters come along hating on your work every single time. They see it, they know it. And I realized something. You guys never make anything new. I mean, it's the same products. Y'all never make anything new. Keep in mind, none of your products have any form of testing. So the question is, can you make something new? Is that possible? And when you make something new, will it have testing underneath it, which it needs to have testing, all live testing. So since you feel that what we do over here is so easy and that anybody can do it, you wouldn't mind basically making a new product and having testing under all that product done live. Just asking. But I don't think you can, because you faked it so well on the other products that you have to have no testing whatsoever next to it that you can't do anything else. If you do any testing and it fails, what is it going to make the other product look like? So that's what I'm requesting for both of you, to make new products. And all product must have testing, just like ours. If it's so easy to do what we do. Now, I guarantee you people that we're never going to see them do this. You know why? Because their products are fake. I can make a new product any given day of the week. I can slam testing under all my products with no problem whatsoever. Everything you see here has tests underneath of it, and they're done live. Now, if I can do this, why can't you do this? So let's see you two make a new product with tons of testing. Now, keep in mind, if you need some research on how to do proper testing, you're more than welcome to go to my website and check out how we test our products. How about you do the testing exactly how we do ours? And let's see if they come up with anything new. Now, I'm willing to put my money on this. I'm willing to say that they don't have anything new. I'm willing to say that they don't know anything at the end of the day, that they have no knowledge of anything whatsoever. And I guarantee you that the test that they do will fail miserably, which means if it fails miserably, that means that the products you have now, we already know don't work, but it just improves even more, it doesn't work. So, can your products pass 9 certifies? At least 9, at least. What about ultra short those certifies? Fully lit environments. I'm not talking about that dim, dark environment you guys like to stick your screens in. I'm talking about really well lit environments. We literally do so many ambient light environments that customers will beg us to turn the lights out. It's a treat when we turn the lights out. That's how many demonstrations we do. Outside demonstrations, we never hardly ever see these at the end of the day. And again, your screens can't be coming up super dark like we've seen the other one. It has to be the show where we can see the image.
Big corporate types, would you stop calling each other rock stars?
By the way, copyright free music. So, I want to see a real screen paint being developed by you guys. And I want to see real testing. That means you're going to have to go pop over to Screen Innovation, and you're going to have to get that certified sheet right there. And DMP, Supernova, Elite screens, Daylight screens, Storage screens. You're going to have to do the test under those. And again, fully lit environment, which means if your screen can't maintain in those environments, I guarantee those gunmetals will. So that's going to be a really hard challenge right there. If you decide to make a darker product, oh man, this is where it gets fun. You're going to have to do something called white level tests, black on black tests, which means you're going to have to be to put your product against black paint, black fabric, everything you can possibly think of, and you have to do pour outs. So that way they can see that the product you're pouring out is actually 100% black and not gray, which some people do in their demonstrations to try to fake it that they have a black screen when actually they have a gray screen. Yeah, so they can try to pull higher white levels, that's why. We know all those tricks already. But can you do this? Can you make a paint just like we can make over here, or make an advanced version of what you have, and can you do this with testing under the product? Oh, keep in mind, you cannot use your crutch projector. I know you guys are used to using the crutch projector. You're going to have to use this on multiple projectors, which means you're going to do this on 720p's, 1080p projectors, Pico projectors, all that good stuff. And again, it has to be done in a fully lit environment. Now, the reason why I know they can't complete this task is because, again, if you look at their products now, yeah, same crutch projector, same dark environment, and all that other nonsense. Oh, and by the way, no calibrating. I know it's going to hurt, but you can't calibrate the projector. We don't calibrate our projectors ever. We consider that a form of cheating when you calibrate a projector. You're not really being honest with the customer. Because if you calibrate a projector, what about the customers who don't want to calibrate? That's why you don't calibrate it at all. Any calibration is called an enhancement to the projector's picture capability. So that's why you can't do that. Because I heard one actually say in a demonstration where his screen washed up pretty poorly. He said the picture image will get better once the customer calibrates the projector. So what happens to customers who choose not to calibrate? Then what happens to them? Or I decided to bring one of the screens out. We have a lot of stuff packed away. Decided to just open it up. Check that out for a little bit today. I like this music. But anyway, yeah. So since you guys, and like I said, it came up in a forum site, someone was like, gee whiz, these guys, and it's noticed that you guys spend a lot of time hating on anything we make. Hate. But I don't see anything new coming from you guys. Nothing new. Tell me the last time you made something new. I can't remember. I got receipts that go back 2 and 3 years from y'all. Nothing new, same old stuff. So since most of your stuff is matching house paint, one of you, and the other one, your stuff is just half and half water, let's see if you guys can make something new. And this means part A, you're going to have to open up. Sorry, I can't call you that. You don't own the name. Danny, you're going to have to open up your website. I know you don't want to, but you're going to have to open it up. Remember, we gave you a challenge for the month of March. Let's see if you can keep your website open for 1 month. And when you do, guess who's going to come in and buy? Not me. You won't see them coming. Now, this is going to be interesting. We want the product here so we can drain the water. Because there's a theory that he made, and keep in mind, I'm not the only one. It's not just me. There are other people that are looking to get that product to drain them. Because they want to see if this theory he came up with was actually real. This is why I said at the end of the day, do not make accusations that you can't back up. This is why testing's involved. Now, you said that water works as a delivery system. Half of that product is water. It's half water, half paint. So if I'm spending $160 for something, how much of that am I getting paint and the other half is water? That's another thing that came up in the topic. Kind of feels like I'm paying for a watered down drink at the bar. I paid for whiskey. I just didn't get whiskey. So that's what it kind of feels like. So does that water have to be there? Does it have to be there? That's what we want to know. So that's why when we gave you the challenge for the month of March, and it's a shame that I had to literally give you a challenge to open your website. That's kind of sad that I have to do that. But if you can open this website for 1 month, we can get the product down here. If he cancels the orders on any one of my friends, we know that those are the only orders that you're receiving. You're not receiving anything from anybody else. Because how would you know? You don't have psychic capabilities. So how would you know that order would be one from one of our friends? Unless that's the only orders that you're getting. That's another thing too, it's going to raise a red flag. That you're not doing business the way you say you are. But anyway, once your product gets down here, we're going to drain it. And I'm going to put a camera right on top of it, as I agreed. I'll get my music back. And I'm going to sit that camera there and put it in a live stream. For a day. Anyone can log in and see the camera rolling. It'll run for a day. And that way you can never say that we went in and we opened up the top, we put baby powder in it, or we drained it and there's nothing in it. No, that camera with a sealed container, after we pour it out and we seal it up nicely on camera, it'll sit there on that camera. Not this one, I'm actually buying another phone. Put it on a live stream, hook it up to a feed, and anyone can come in and watch that can. And then after a day, we're gonna pop that top and we're gonna see if your paint turns into baby powder. Or it evaporates, it disappears. Heck, I'm willing to let that stream run for 3 days. And I guarantee you, when I pop that top, it's gonna be paint. That's what it's gonna be. I guarantee that the water that you put in there, you tried to make it seem like you're painting something that it's not. It's a skin-like coating. It's not a skin-like coating, it's a watered down paint. It's black and white paint with a bunch of water in it. So because of this, and because he set that bar so high of making all these fake accusations, this is the reason why in March, his website will not open. Now, if he does open it, and I can't buy it because if I buy it, you cancel my order. We already proved that already, $700 worth. But if they buy it and they get it and we get the order, you cancel the order, we'll find out. We'll post it. You cancel the order. And how would you cancel an order on someone that you wouldn't even know it was us at the end of the day, unless you don't get any orders, and we are your only orders. So don't do that either. So we'll see. But until then, the challenge is still there. Can you guys make something new with testing? Your other products are not testing. Anyone can go online and they can dig up your products and put tests underneath of them, and nothing will come up. So with that being said, if you guys spend so much time hating on my work, every time I bring something out new, here come your haters. Well, let's see you try to make something new with testing attached to it. Which means you have to match and better all my test demonstrations. What I mean by match and better, if I'm doing a demonstration in a fully lit environment at 160 inches, guess where you're going to be at with your product? You don't want me at my test demonstrations beating the crap out of your test demonstrations. You don't want that, do you? So you're going to match my test demonstrations, which means you're going to have to make some room. You're going to need a lot of room. So 160-inch screen, if we're doing a test demonstration at 120, whatever it may be, that's what you're going to have to do. Which means I want to see color demonstrations. I want to see blues and reds and greens, solid colors. And I want to see these against certified screens. Gunmetal technology, black diamond technology. I want to see all that. We've already tested black diamond. We even got letters from them. I'm expecting to see fully lit environments. What I mean by move that bookcase away from those windows, pull those blinds all the way up. I want that place to look like when you first moved in there. I want it nice and bright. I don't want to see any shadows, any dark corners, any dark walls, or any lights illuminating from the back of the screen. We don't want to see that nonsense. Nice and bright in there. That's what we want to see. What else we need? 1,000 lumen demonstrations. You're going to have to do this one outside and inside. This is a bit of a doozy. Yeah, you're going to have to be able to pull up images. Let's see, we start triggering off at around 5 to 6. So that's where you're going to have to be at. This is where your screen size is going to grow. I'll give you 150 inches. I wouldn't give anything more than that because you wouldn't have, some of y'all don't have the room for it. Danny, you do have the room for it. So you can do a whopping 250-inch screen like we did. How is it possible that you have more land than I did, and yet I did a 250-inch screen and you didn't? How does that work? Just wondering about that one. Anyway, so ultra short though demonstrations. Oh, this is where you guys are going to basically feel that you're going to do better. No, you won't. You'll be doing ultra short though demonstrations against certified screens. Like gunmetal certified by elite screens. Ooh, not a doozy for us, but it will be for you. Oh, and I forgot, most important, and this is why we won't see them do anything new. What is the difference between your product and household paints? Now, we have something called a black versus black, where we do black paint, you know, and so forth, black fabric and so forth. You're going to have to run those same tests on live, which means you're going to have to put your product against the Network Grade 773, the Slip Silver by Microblend by Amazon. We got one called Silver Mist. I think it's like 1619 or something like that. We got software gray. There's a whole bunch of them that you have to do. Now, one of them, keep in mind, his products already failed next to Network Grade 773. And this is another reason why you will never see him do a new product for testing. Because any new products that you do from now on, Crow, are going to have to involve those paints. So that way the customers feel and know that they're not being cheated at the end of the day. And you're not going to get on camera again after what you've been through. But can you make something new involving those tests? See, this is what happens when you cut corners. You can't make anything new. We know this from the door. That's why you don't have anything new. You have the same products over and over again. And the reason why is because if you make anything new, you know we're going to request tests. And if we request tests, we're going to request that Network Grade 773. And that's something you don't want to go through again. So I'll give you guys until, let me see what we have here, March, April. Well, we can do ours in 20 minutes, but we'll give you some time here to get this done. We'll give you to April to have it done. Now, when you do testing, keep in mind, testing are insane. You're going to have to test, usually lasts between an hour to 3 hours long, sometimes even more. You're also going to have to do something called projector swap out tests. and then side-by-side comparison tests. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Mattress sale, save $1,000 on select mattresses, plus save hundreds on select.
So how many tests are you going to need altogether? It's about 13 of them you're going to need. 13 tests, anywhere from an hour to 3 hours long. People watch me on camera do those tests over and over and over again. That's what you're going to be requested to do. And if you do a black screen paint, keep in mind, you're going to have to do black level tests, which means you're going to have to show that the product doesn't match any form of black paint, black fabric, black mesh, black tape, whatever you can possibly think of. We've done it already. You're going to have to do that test. You definitely have to do white level tests. If you do a darker gray paint, white level tests will be involved. Will I be monitoring your activity? No, not really. I got things to do. But I will come back at April to see if you got anything done. Like you said, you guys called yourself being experts in your fields, right? One calling himself the king, one calling him something, I don't know what he calls himself in the day. If that's the case, I want to see a new product. With testing, all live testing, which means if you make a mistake on camera, we'll all see it. Good luck, you're going to need it. Judging by the paints you make now, we know this is going to be a nightmare for you. And maybe we can finally get him to do that micro blend, which I still haven't seen yet. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the fish over there, just chilling. Now, that idea came to me, like I said, I was in a forum site and somebody said, you know, they just spend all day hating on your products. Every time you bring something new out, you're a scammer this, you're a scammer that. Well, now we're giving you a chance to basically show how easy it is. Now we're giving you the opportunity to make a new product. As a matter of fact, how about I make things a little interesting? How about you make an entire product line? We do it all the time. I want to see 4 different screen paints. That's what I want to see. Not 1, 4. Now it just got rough for you. And I want testing under every last one of them. It's a lot of work, ain't it? Yeah. So if our job is so easy in what we do, then you wouldn't have no problem making 4 individual screen paints. Now I made it rough for you. Oh, don't forget outside. You'll be doing a lot of outside demonstrations. Outside, at least about, well, you don't even have 40 under your belt. So can we beef that up a little bit? Can you at least get 40 demonstrations outside done already? So that'd be nice. Like I said, we're such scammers at the end of the day, and what we do is so easy. Well, you wouldn't mind making 5 different products. I said 4, didn't I? Well, now it's 5. I want 5 products. 5 products, I didn't say that already, and I want them all tested on live, every single one of them. And don't forget your certified screens, including Black Diamond. I'm gonna tell you right now, Diamond technology is going to wipe you clean. Hope you're good, because man, that surface is something else. It is. I would say, if anyone ever asked me, out of all the gunmetal we've tested, which one would be the best, it'd be the Diamond. And like I said, not a big fan of Diamond technology based on how I'm a fan of the technology. I'm not a fan of how the guy treated us. We didn't like that at all. But I always give credit where credit is due. If Crow or Danny or Jamie or whatever happened to come out and make a product that actually works with testing attached to it, I got to give credit where credit is due. But you can't do this. We already know this on the door. From what I've seen in your products, you cut so many corners at the end of the day. For you to do proper testing to make a new product line, not something you're going to do. You're not going to do it. But I want to see an entire product line. Oh, you thought my fish was going to fade out because we're in a dark environment? We're experts in ambient light rejection technology. That's my field. So I can say that. I can call myself an expert at the end of the day. I have the experience. I have the demonstrations on test demonstrations that back me up for a lifetime. I've designed so much technology, it's not even funny. If you go to my Crystal Witch page, my paints are endless. It's insane on how many technologies we've developed all under testing. I got over 7,000 videos on my YouTube account, basically showing how many tests my screens have been through. I got a grid on Crystal Edge, which shows how many test demonstrations we've done outside, more than anyone on YouTube, more than anyone off of YouTube. And I'm sitting here having this conversation with the lights out. And I know we do that from time to have some fun, because I know the naysayers in the back like, well, you're talking all that trash and you got the lights out. Lights are on right now. What's the problem? My screen's here is 159 inches. I don't have to shrink my screen down to a certain size, because I'm afraid if I expand, it's going to wash out in the environment. Judging by what I've seen in the environment that you guys already have and those screens you have, you can't do a screen size that big. If you got a light dodge with a screen of 100 and 120 inches, 159, you're not doing in that environment. And if you see the technology we have here, that's a new coating I'm working on for rear projection technology. Remember I told you about the friend who got the garage? Yeah, I hooked him up with a free screen. So I got his garage for a year, if I want it. See, at the end of the day, we develop so much technology, you can only hate on what you know. You can't hate on the rest of the technology because you don't even know if it exists yet. And it does exist, but you haven't seen it yet. Unless we mention it, that's the only way you can hate on it. That shows how much you guys are actually jocking us all day, because you got nothing else. So I'm giving you the opportunity to prove that you are experts in your field. I want to see a product line of 5 different screen paints. I want them all tested. And keep in mind, these tests must be done live, and these tests are going to involve anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours long, because that's how long it takes for these tests. No joke. Okay, with that being said, Danny and Crow, or Jamie, whatever you want to call yourself, you got work to do. So get the cracking, Jackson. Gotta go, and God bless.